Last time on Cyberphile, we explored the depths of the Ziggurat of Dust before facing off with the Bloodless Prince and moving on to the ruined temple with our sights set on the next boss. Hello and welcome back to another episode of From the Depths, Cyberphile's lore-enhanced walkthrough of Salt and Sanctuary. So let's make some progress and we're going to face off with the next boss. The boss of the ruined temple. The Coveted. So, in this battle there are two ghosts, as you can see here. However, they're not the Coveted. The real boss is the axe, as you can tell, seeing as you have to actually damage the axe to do damage to the overarching boss health meter. Now, what's interesting is that these two ghosts, though in the bestiary they're called the Coveted and the Coveting, the real Coveted is the axe, or rather the bloodthirsty spirit of the axe. So the axe hungers for more and more executions. So in life, these two ghosts, the Coveted and the Coveting, were known as Executioner Arlang and his son Kuchet. And Arlang was an executioner when the axe, the Coveted, was used on an entire royal family. The axe was given to Arlang as a gift from some unknown person or persons. Now, as the axe began to feed, the axe of course always wanted more, and Arlang began to love the axe unnaturally, and wanted to constantly feed it. Now, this created a problem, as his family, he was tearing his family apart, always wanting to commit these executions, and eventually he actually became king, but he never once left the headsman's block, as he always just wanted to feed the bloodthirsty axe. Now, so Kuchet wanted his father back, but eventually began to fall in love with the axe as well, and so now they ended up dying, both of them, in a struggle over the axe. And now, as they were in life, two in death, they are cursed by their desire to struggle over the axe, until someone can put them out of their misery. That someone, of course, being me. So, this boss is more annoying than difficult, because you've gotta watch out for both the melee attacks and the ranged attacks. The ranged attacks are much tougher to deal with than the melee attacks. And sometimes you can get lucky and the ghosts will, whoever's on ranged duty will shoot the opposite direction of where you are. So, making the battle much easier. Though it's not really a difficult battle to begin with. Kind of a lengthy one though, as you can tell. And I really do like the story of Executioner Arlang and his son Kuchet. It's just a really cool, really sad sort of story. It's neat. They did a really good job with a lot of the lore in this game, even if it is kind of hard to come by if you don't dig into all of the item descriptions and whatnot. Ouch. Whoops. That's what I get for looking away for a second. But we've almost got him down. A few more good combos and we'll be in good shape. I don't mean the cheese-filled pretzels. There we go. So with the bloodthirsty spirit of the axe down, we have more or less completed the ruined temple. And we've gotten the ashes of the Coveted. Again, that's the axe, not the ghosts. Up here, I actually missed this on my first ever playthrough, is a little direction that you can go, and you can meet with the Black Sand Sorcerer, and he divulges some very important information story-wise. If we open this chest, you see we get his gear, the Sorcerer's gear. So let's see what he has to say. We found it. The ruined temple. It was built in the north as a testament to the power of man, but it became corrupted by greed and something more. The mountain smith may have cast out gods, but even a godless land isn't safe from demons. I was led to this alcove by a number of tiny markings, each one bearing an instruction in a dead Tristini tongue. Here I found a set of garments identical to mine. Could it be that I have a shadow leaving me messages, wearing my clothes? Ever since you slayed the king, I've wanted nothing more than to explore. But now that I think I understand what power is here, I'm filled with dread. I'm going to retrace my steps. Perhaps I'll discover an answer. Okay, so we can't finish off his storyline just yet, but he said that, first off, this temple existed at one point when the people of Markdor in the north did hold gods. And they sort of casted out those gods, and this was a temple towards those dead gods, it seems. So, that's an interesting little fact that we now know. And another interesting thing is, he said that there's someone else on this island that's wearing his clothes, speaks in his tongue, and is leaving him messages. What could this mean? We'll talk about it once we're able to finally finish his storyline, when he pops up near the beginning of the game. I met a simple woman from Kolkasir. She wanted to know what the point of it all was. How could she not know? It's the simple truth. We must quest. We must explore, we must discover, we must succeed, we must survive. She was devoured by beasts. Did you know that I've been questing since my 13th year? Slaying brigands and scoundrels, exploring uncharted caves. Never does my heart feel at peace quite so much as when I'm on an adventure. I think I'll venture into the woods next. It's pitch dark and full of strange creatures and grisly corpses, but my friend, you should do well to know that I thrive in the face of danger. Sometimes the best thing to do is simply to listen. So he's heading into the woods next, and that's also where we're going to head. Over here to the right, the Pitchwoods. So finally we've made it into the Pitchwoods, which is very, very platforming heavy, but also Pitchwoods lies in the forests east of Livin. And if you remember, the Pitchwoods is where the Citadel exists, which is the Keepers of Fire and Sky's safe haven, so that magician collective that we've heard so much about. So we are going to actually head to the Citadel soon. But first, we have a bit of a detour to take, and a bit of an enemy to destroy in the process. Ooh, I'm being not very safe. Let's be very careful, because these beautifully creepy creatures known as spindle beasts are very, very deadly. And will easily, one-shot you if you're not careful. We somehow managed to survive thanks to the golden wine and drinking the lily red wine just in time, but whew, scary. So, remember when we started talking about the Tristini witch hunt? Do you remember that? I've brought it up a number of times, so you should. But I really want this spindle beast to get out of here. I don't want to fight him because I don't want to risk dying either. Would you just go away? No! 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 Ah, these guys are the worst! So let's talk Tristini witch hunt. So there was a man known as Carsejaw, and he was the bastard son of a man known as Marquis Leybourne. And in fact, he was at once a Bloodbrow, and he actually had control over a number of the Bloodbrows. Carsejaw the Cruel was probably existed in Livin, and he had control of the Bloodbrows as a powerful Bloodbrow commander. And one day, he decided that he was going to take over Tristan, or at least a part of Tristan, and reign as Duke, despite having no real reason to, or any ties to the throne. He had no right to do so, but he was powerful enough to do so, and that granted him the nickname of Carsejaw, the Pretender Duke of Tristan. So, as we all know, Carsejaw was, or as we now know, Carsejaw was a Bloodbrow, and the Bloodbrows carried out the Tristini witch hunts under his command. Carsejaw, you see, was the one who decided to do these horrible things. And remember, he would take innocent women and daughters, innocent daughters, wives, sisters, and brutally execute them by drowning or bound and scattering. We talked about that in an earlier episode, way back in Hager's Cavern. And at first, the people of Tristan were all for it. They were like, we don't want dark magic practicing people in our woods. And remember, they were just simple, harmless elementalists. However, at first, while they were into it, they realized that he was just killing to kill, just for fun or something. And so, they rose up against Carsejaw the Cruel. And as you saw those creepy, horse-headed, impaled people, that's what Carsejaw did to the rebels. He was brutal, cruel, and incredibly powerful, and no one could stop him. So every rebel that would rise up against him, he would impale both the rebel and the horse on the same stake to make an example out of them. Some sort of gruesome Vlad the Impaler sort of thing going on there. And we will continue our Carsejaw chat on the very next episode of From the Depths with Cyberphile. I will see you then. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Cyberphile content. And if you like this video, show me with that little thumbs up button. If you liked this video, you might like one of my other videos. You can click right on the boxes to jump to them. Cyberphile, offline.